Hello everybody, it's me, Nikki, and welcome to Tag Tuesday. This is the Bookish Scenarios book tag. I saw this on Mr. Francie Reed's channel. I'll make sure to link that down below, that video down below, I should say. So there's 7 bookish scenarios. So let's get started. The first one. You have to get rid of all of your books, and you can only keep one from each of these genres. Contemporary, fantasy, nonfiction, and one other genre of your choosing. What books do you keep? Well, this is going to be hard. I don't have contemporary books. I don't really like them. I'm much more of a fantasy, sci-fi, historical mystery kind of girl. They just don't. So none. Fantasy, well, now I have a lot of fantasy books, so you can fiddle with this. Like, there are lots of subgenres. It doesn't not say subgenres. So you have historical fantasy. You could keep something from that. I know I have one. I don't think I have any by me. Eyelash. Hang on. I'm just checking. So you could pick She Who Became the Sun, historical fantasy. The Rage of Dragons. That might not be historical fantasy, but you know what I mean? So you could do a lot with that. I'm not answering the question, by the way. I'm not picking a book. Non-fiction. I have a biography of Eleanor of Aquitaine, I think, that I would keep. And another genre, sci-fi, and I would keep all of the Expanse books. What are you gonna do? Fight me about it. Number 2, you're at the bookstore and you hear a teenager telling their mom they don't like to read, but their mom insists they pick something. You walk over and recommend a book you think is great for people who aren't big on reading. What book is it? First of all, I think it depends on the teen, like how old they are, perhaps even if they're a male or female, and what they like. I think you would have to ask them, what do you like? Because if they like horses, you know, maybe it would be embarrassing, but there is a horse section in the kids section. There's nothing wrong with me reading middle grade books whatsoever. So, you know, if they don't like reading, there's usually a reason why. They might have a learning disability of some sort. They might have had really bad English teachers. They might have been forced to read out loud awful books, classics, you know. So you should find something that they like. Unfortunately, it is based on gender, because all the boy stuff is really like action and fighty, and all the girl stuff is really romancy. But there were 2. I would say Percy Jackson. That's like a middle grade YA. There's another one. I would also pick some Percy Jackson, and I would pick A Series of Unfortunate Events, which is also middle grade YA, and then I would pick One Piece, because it is, or any comic really, if they like that, or if they're interested, because if they're having trouble reading, there's not usually a lot of words in a comic. You can sort of, you know what I mean? So I think it really depends upon the person and about why they don't like to read. So you'd have to ask them those questions. Number 3, you're not feeling yourself and need a pick-me-up. Which book do you read to put yourself in a great mood? One Piece, always the answer. Specifically, the start of any arc, like especially like the first, well, you do cry in the first couple books of One Piece, But like the beginning of any arc, it's usually more lighthearted and fun, and as you go deeper, Ichiro Oda would like to break your heart along the way. But yes. Number 4, you go back in time for a day to your teenage years. What book would you most likely have caught yourself reading? Ooh, that was a long time ago. Depends. I read a lot of fan fiction during my teenage years. I probably read more fan fiction than actual books, which is why I have so many books piled up. Probably Babysitter's Club at some point. I know I read the War of the Twins trilogy, which I still can't find, by the way. Super mad about that. And probably what else? Probably some like Buffy or Angel tie-in books. Probably Buffy more than Angel. I liked those ones better. Number 5, your friend surprises you with a 4-day trip and you have 1 hour to pack. Which book do you bring to read along the way? To read on the way? Well, I live in America, so it depends on where the trip is to. Because if it's the other side of the country, that's very far away and I would need a bigger book. Or if it's somewhere in the state, that's probably a couple hours, so you wouldn't need a bigger book. I don't know. Probably... like if my friend is going with me, since I can't drive, they'd be driving. I think I would pick... I have some Final Fantasy compendiums over there. I'd pick something like that, or like my Lord of the Ring Hobbit compendiums, where they're big books, but there's lots of facts and information. So, something like that. You could share with a friend, so it's not just boring. Number 6, your house has been robbed. Don't worry, everyone is safe, but your bookshelves have been raided. What's the book you really hope is safe? I'm gonna go with, if I can get it without making a mess, I'm gonna go with Winnie the Pooh by A.L.A. Milne. As you can see, this is a very old copy. Oh gosh, yeah, it's falling apart here. This is... that can't be right. 1984, so the year before I was born. And I've basically had it my whole life. I've read it a bunch or had it read to me. So yes, this is very special to me. But I'd hope all my books. I don't think anybody's going to take my books. In all honesty, you couldn't make it at the house. I have some PlayStations right there that are easier to grab. Don't come to my house and take my PlayStations. Number 7, the final one. Your friend borrows a book and returns it in awful condition. Do you A, just pretend you haven't noticed, B, ask them to repurchase it, or C, secretly do the same to something of theirs? I would probably do... it depends on what they did to it. Like, if it's off... like, I've ruined school books just because my backpack got wet, and I felt bad about that. But, like, if they broke the spine, I don't care, because I break the spine. But if it was really bad, I probably wouldn't pretend. I'd be like, what happened? What did you do to this? And they say, oh, that's just how I read books. I'd be like, okay, but it wasn't your book to do that to. So I guess A, but not really. But nobody ever takes my books, so there's nobody I know that lives close to me likes books as much as I do. I think some of these scenarios work when you actually have friends that live close to you. Like, I don't have a friend who would live close to me to surprise me with a 4-day trip. And if I did, I think they would know that I wouldn't do that. Because I don't really like to leave my house. Anyway, that's the Bookish Scenarios tag. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you do it. If you're watching, you are tagged. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you're having a lovely day. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.